New AirPods are coming out at the end of this year? I thought we just got new AirPods. How's this working out exactly? Today I'll be picking apart what the situation is with the third generation AirPods and now the recently rumored AirPods Pro or AirPods Plus that Quo has talked about, so there's a lot to unpack. Let's begin. Now, firstly, I agree with you. The fact that there's a chance now, a pretty good chance, in fact, that new AirPods are going to be launched alongside the new iPhone coming out at the end of the year is kind of bizarre. Given we got a refresh just last month, that is a very short amount of time for the second generation AirPods to be the latest version, especially given a lot of people waited 3 years for AirPod upgrades before they actually got one. And now, after that 3-year wait, 6 months are gonna go by, and then they're gonna update them again? For sure. From a business standpoint, it is quite bizarre, and it does make me a little bit confused. It does make a little bit more sense, though, if you think about the history with AirPods Gen 2 in kind of their unmentioned delayed release. We saw people using AirPods in the iPhone XS keynote by calling out to Siri with them, which when we all saw that, we were kind of like, hey, that's not a thing yet. Meaning they likely wanted to announce them last year. That's why all the packaging said copyright 2018. A lot of the old AirPods packaging had pictures of AirPower on it, so you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes, basically, to figure out, okay, they were delaying AirPods 2. They figured out how to put a Qi coil in a charge case like this. That wasn't the difficult part. The difficult part was they wanted to launch this alongside AirPower, and of course, AirPower was a giant train wreck of R&D, and they were probably pouring tons of money into trying to fix it, and they just couldn't delay it any further, so that's why they launched AirPods 2, with the flagship feature being it can charge via Qi, plus the H1 chip, the improved talk time, yada yada yada. Lots of other little improvements here and there, and that's why a lot of people are referring to it as an AirPods S, because the design hasn't changed, the sound quality hasn't changed, the battery life, if you're ignoring talk time, hasn't changed. So it's really not that big of an upgrade. Well, for the people that were hoping for a bigger upgrade and didn't care that much about the wireless charging, and maybe you're still rocking AirPods 1, perhaps you're gonna have something to look forward to at the end of the year, because Quo is saying they're going to be launching a third generation AirPods alongside a Pro generation of AirPods that are gonna come with features that the baseline AirPods wouldn't have ordinarily. So the one leak, the one report we've heard multiple times is that Apple's been heavily investigating AirPods with noise reduction. That's a huge complaint among people who don't like AirPods very much, is the fact that they kind of let in all sound. When you put on AirPods, they don't block out anything. But as many other YouTubers on the platform have pointed out, a lot of us kind of appreciate that. We kind of like that we can hear our surroundings, we can just pause the music to quickly hear what's going on. Some of us are paranoid, or maybe we just don't like being completely closed off from our surroundings or whatever's going on throughout the house. So we like that we can still kind of hear background stuff as we're listening to music. But I completely agree to the people out there who want to use AirPods but also really care about noise reduction, particularly if you travel a lot and you're on airplanes a lot. Absolutely, that would be super helpful, and I'm with you. If they had some type of option, and I don't really know how they could do it via hardware, but maybe they have some type of way that you can put in AirPods and using ultrasonic waves, they'll be able to kind of block out all of that background noise, because that's what a lot of over-ear headphones do. Or perhaps we are talking about a legitimate redesign, maybe something that looks a little bit closer to the Power Beats, where they have rubber tips that seal within the ear, which a lot of people do like because AirPods don't always fit in their ear, but for me, I'm the exact opposite. I don't like the rubber tip headphones because they always make my ears hurt a little bit, and what I like about AirPods is that they simply rest in my ears and they never fall out for me. So I'm okay with the plastic AirPods not like making a completely sealed off attachment to my ear. But diversification is good, and making sure that you cover everyone who wants to buy your new generation headphones for all of their different needs is a very smart move, particularly when AirPods are not great for that many people. There are tons of you who bring up lots of good reasons why you shouldn't get AirPods in the comments all the time, and yet they're still one of the most popular wireless headphones on the market, if not the most popular headphone on the market. They've changed into memes, people are wearing them on the street all the time. I see it all over the place in my rink-a-dink town. So to imagine that they're going to expand and diversify that lineup even more so this year is, I guess, good for the market. It's just not good for the people that thought this was the big AirPod refresh we were going to get this year. Then you're going to be out $200 and realize, oh crap, maybe I should have waited. But in my opinion, here's the thing you got to remember about when you should and shouldn't buy tech. Regardless of the time of the year, if you decide to wait, eventually something better will come out. That's just a fundamental fact about technology getting better and improving. If you decide to wait, well then that's another 6 months of either sticking with your not so great first generation AirPods or another 6 months of not having AirPods period and not having the convenience, not having the benefit of wireless headphones, and then half the year goes by and maybe these third generation AirPods come out and maybe they're not all we were hoping for. A lot of you are hoping for design changes or for different color options. What happens if you waited half a year for that and then it doesn't end up becoming a reality? So what I would encourage people with something like AirPods, which is less predictable than the new iPhone or the new Apple Watch, you know, those are pretty set in stone. You can expect a new iPhone to come out every September and likely a new Apple Watch alongside it. Those are for certain. With AirPods and headphones, it's kind of iffy. You don't really know what the cycle of it is right now. So I would say don't worry about what's coming out later, or don't worry about the Generation 2 that came out just a few weeks ago. Just focus on what you personally need at this time and in this place in your life. Would Generation 2 AirPods really benefit you? Would you take advantage of that wireless future and that wireless charging and that improved talk time? If it sounds like it would be a good help for you, then please by all means just go ahead and get them. I wouldn't say right now that it's safe to wait around for another 6 months or 5 months just because there's a chance that a black pair might come out later this year or that there'll be a slightly better finish. 100% it may happen, without question. They may come out with great new AirPods, or they may come out with kind of basic, very incremental updated AirPods. So at this time, I say it's way too early to tell. Just buy them if you need them. If you don't need them and you're comfortable with your current headphones, then yeah, it's also a good idea to wait because you can see what else Apple has in store. In regards to design changes, as several leaks have said that this is going to be a complete design change for the AirPods, I also want to remind you, complete design change for headphones with Apple doesn't usually mean very much. I imagine the general shape with the stems and how AirPods look and how they work, that's probably not going to change very much, so don't get too excited about a complete redesign. I think some people see that and assume, oh, they're completely throwing out the old design. No, they're probably just trying to find some way to save on money so that they can either price them lower or have a higher profit margin on them per sale. So complete design change could literally just be like it's a matte finish now instead of glossy, like the Apple Pencil 2, or they have flat edges or something like that. But for the most part, I imagine third generation AirPods are still roughly going to look like AirPods. I'm definitely happy with mine, but I'm of course curious to see what Apple launches later this year, and if they'll be able to make a pro version that can not completely make the cheaper version worthless. I think there's a delicate balance there you gotta be careful with. This one's good and it has features a lot of people care about, but it also doesn't make the cheaper one completely meaningless. Where do you guys think Apple should draw the line between third generation AirPods and AirPods Pro? Should some of them get colors? Should all of them get colors? Should both get noise reduction, or just the Pros get noise reduction? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.